That's going to depend on how long your fabric is. But for me, I like doing the hand gather because every fabric is different in length. Because cotton could range from like 42 inches to 46 inches in width. Then you have stretch velvet that ranges from 30 to 60 inches in width. So everything's different. You have satin that's from like 20 inches to 64 inches in width. So each fabric is going to be different. And that's the reason why I like doing the hand gathering. And especially with stretch velvet, you know, it's annoying when you begin using that fabric because they tend to roll up. But so we begin the pinning part. You're gonna grab I usually like doing the second and third tier first and then moving from second to the first tier. So basically you're gonna grab the second and third tier, you're gonna find the ends, and then you're gonna pin one part. And I usually like going maybe an inch or two down, just so that I can run it through the machine quick where I don't have to stop and move it, because if you sew over the needle, sometimes your needle's gonna hit it, then you're gonna lose the needle under the machine, then you're gonna be taking apart your machine, trying to find the one needle. And people like using the other clamps too, the fabric, I guess, clamps, but I don't like using it because, like I said, I just like running the whole material through the machine. It's quicker than going, then stop, going, then stop, going, then stop. So for those of you that have the 246, you're gonna find the first block, and then your second one, you're gonna find 1.5. So basically there's 1 and then half is usually where the fold is. If you want to measure half exactly, you can fold your fabric in half, but that's just how I measure half. And then you pin it, the first block. And then you're gonna fold it in half again, and then pin again. So it's just gonna be a continuation of finding half. And you can go as small as you like or as far as you need so that you can gather. So, and usually I stop about this area. And then you're just going to continue all the way down. So other techniques, people, they can do like the long stitch too and sew on each end, and then you just pull the top of the thread and then it'll gather for you. But like I said, it's going to be different for everybody once you begin to learn how to use your machine to its fullest. But this is just my technique because I get to use all of the fabric. And then in the middle, you should be at your second block, and then this should be at the third. So then you just keep going.
The cheering for you.
Like you're almost done. So you're just folding in half, and in half, and in half. And then once again, just be sure that your fabric are all in one direction. Because like I said with the horses here, you just want to be sure they're all one way. And sometimes people will pin it upside down and sew it already.
I did an apron here, the cups were upside down over this past Christmas.
So then again, I'm halfway through, so then you just find 1.5 again, and then you connect it to the next block. It's usually where it's sewn, so it's just figuring out. I do not iron any fabric. In most cases, like, I find it not necessary because they're gonna sit on it anyway and it's gonna get wrinkled itself again. Just kidding. And that's the reason why I like the 246, because it has a nice gather and you really can't see any wrinkles. Just kidding. So that's just my opinion on that. I don't iron my fabric. But I have a lot of relatives who will take up like 3 tables and there they are ironing away. When they could have been done with the outfit already. Just kidding. So, and this is the last block. And it's always good to start learning more and more, starting off with cotton, because, like I said, once you start making other skirts with different fabric, you're gonna get extremely annoyed. Because satin will tend to run a lot, will tend to slide. Stretch velvet will tend to roll up, or it'll continuously get uneven. And then you have the regular premium, royal, triple velvet. That's just gonna ruin your machine. So it's always fun to start off with cotton because it's very easy to work with. All right. And here's the last part. So like I said, you can get as close as you want on this portion, but this is normally how far I go. And this is, like I said, the second and third tier together. And when we sew, it's just, like I said, it's gonna be, I always use the footer as my marking, and I always make sure the needle is in center. And people always ask, like, what, I guess whatever, I think 3.5 is a good stitch length. And then I just use the edge of the footer as my marking and be sure the needle is centered. And you just get as many folds as you can in each section. And you just go. So you just fold it as many times as you can. And that's the reason why, like I said, I pin the needles about 1 inch or 2 down, just so that I can run it through quick. And then when I'm done here, I can just run it through the serger at the edge, and then finally take off the needles. Do you guys have any questions? So we can start pinning, and then we can start going around and helping with the gathering. Okay?